right, beautiful Wednesday morning here in Phoenix. Wanted to take some time to just chat with you guys a little bit. I'm actually on my way up to Anthem to do a final walkthrough. Shout out to my good friend Rob, who's going to be closing in a couple days, so we're happy for him. But I wanted to talk about the market just kind of directly with you guys. I get a lot of people who are reaching out, talking about what's going on or asking about what's going on, kind of getting my opinion. I think, you know, you guys are getting opinions from all over. I'm seeing a bunch of different opinions from all over. Everybody's kind of trying to get a grasp on, you know, where the market's headed here in Phoenix, maybe even all over, what's going on. There's a ton of clickbait information out there when people are talking about housing bubbles and crashes and a shock to the housing market. I mean, we're just getting bombarded everywhere with this type of information regarding the housing market. And I think, you know, for a lot of people, it's really hard trying to figure out, you know, if it's the right time to buy, what's going on, and people are looking obviously to me for advice on that. And I'm trying to learn as much as I can myself, because like I've said in a lot of my videos, I'm also looking to buy in this market, and I'm also trying to make the best decision. So I'm in the same boat as a lot of you are, and I'm trying to make sense out of what's going on, and I'm trying to guide you guys in the right direction, and I'm also trying to make a good decision for myself. So, you know, what I want to do is kind of take you through kind of my thoughts as I do when people call me. And I also want you guys to, you know, give me your opinion. Give me what you think is going on. Talk to me about who you're listening to online on YouTube, other personalities that are out there that are kind of going through some of the, you know, things that are going on with the market, and what you guys really think. I'm seeing still a lot of positivity from, you know, the market when it comes to, when I say positivity, I say it doesn't look like we're in any kind of situation where the market's going to soften so too much. So, you know, good news, bad news. So for buyers, are we going to see continued price increases? So if you buy now, do I think that we're still going to see some continued increase in pricing? Right now, that's what it looks like. Is it going to be as crazy as it was in the last 6 months? Probably not. I don't think that's sustainable. I don't think most people think it's sustainable, but we are seeing a little bit of an uptick in listings. So that is helpful when people are out here maybe not having to compete with as many people. But, you know, we're also seeing, you know, we went through kind of since March, kind of the peak of when you look at the Cromford Market Index, when that was over 500, that has kind of been on its way down up until mid-August, and it pretty much flattened out. And then recently we've actually seen a little bit of uptick in demand, which is starting to, you know, maybe kind of give people a different idea on what the future holds. So my personal take on it is we are seeing a lot more investor buyers out there. When it comes to the market, we are really seeing, I know iBuyers, that's a big keyword that people are keying in on right now. The iBuyers out in the Phoenix market have been very active. They're trying to gain market share. The iBuyers that I'm talking about are people like OfferPad and Opendoor and Zillow, and you know, I think Opendoor is the biggest out there when it comes to people buying in the Phoenix market. But there are other investors out there as well. And I heard, you know, somebody quoted a number that, you know, recently we're at about 25% of our closings being classified as investor buyers. So I'll have to do a little bit more homework on that number to find out where that came from. But, you know, considering some of the things I've seen, I'm not too surprised if that number is accurate. So what does that mean? Let's talk about the people who are worried that there is a crash coming, because if you look at a lot of the videos that are out there, and I watch them probably as much as you do, that's a big keyword that people are targeting and people are talking about, and they're comparing the market that we had back in 2006, 2007, when we went to peak pricing, And if you look at the graphs, it looks very similar to some of the same things we are seeing right now when it comes to the pricing just shooting up like a rocket. But there are so many differences from then till now, and I went through that as a negative, and I bought a house and then had to short sell it. I don't want to go through that again. I think a lot of people don't want to go through that same thing again as well. But let's look at the differences, because there's a lot of things people talk about. Hey, people are not buying with easy to get loans like they were back then. One of the things that I kind of think about is the difference back then. Like, we didn't have like all the people buying all the vacation rentals. I mean, I don't know how many people have been, purchasing up a bunch of vacation rentals or just long-term hold rentals in general. Like, there are a ton of people out there helping people make money by investing in real estate. It's all over the place. There's people talking about it all the time. So, with the information age and what we're seeing online and how many people are using YouTube to gain information, I mean, there's just so much information out there to help people invest their money properly, which has in my mind, that has meant more people trying to get into the real estate market to invest. And the money that they're using to invest primarily, I'm seeing, is a lot of cash. So we're not seeing these no money down type situations. So that's a huge difference in the market. Obviously the iBuyers, we didn't have iBuyers back in that day. So that's a huge difference in the market. Those people did not exist. So the amount of investment at the peak of the market is completely different to me than was back then. Like, the investors back in 2005 and 2006, people randomly saying, hey, I'm going to take out zero money down loans and I'm going to buy a house and then I'm going to try to rent it out and I'm going to sell it a year later and make a bunch of money. Like, they were not schooled investors and they were putting zero money down. It's a different day and age right now. These are people that spend a lot of time, analyzing the market and trying to figure out where they're going to spend their money. This is big time money that's being spent in these markets. So with that said, the thing that confuses me is a lot of these people that are investors that are talking about this crash coming, and I think they want a crash to come because they want to buy more real estate, but they're not seeing that they're out there coaching people to buy investment properties, which is keeping the housing market elevated to where it's at. So, I'm all for people investing in real estate. I think the pros outweigh the cons. But if you are an investor in real estate and you're looking at this as, hey, things seem too good right now for people, and we saw the last time the way things kind of transpired and everybody getting a little too happy and a little too greedy and everybody partying when the writing was on the wall that it wasn't sustainable. Well, yeah, I get that, but like, the most of the people who are out there spending a bunch of money right now are people that have been very successful over the last couple years due to the pandemic and have made a lot of money and kind of capitalized on what has happened. The people that are struggling and have been hurt by the pandemic, they're not buying these houses right now. So anybody who was, people talk about the government giving people money, and yes, there was a bunch of people who got money from unemployment, and there was a couple little stimulus checks here and there. I don't think people getting unemployment and little stimulus checks, I don't think those are the people who are buying properties right now. These are business owners who capitalize from the market, and these are people that maybe got pretty good amount of money from these small business loans, potentially from the government, and didn't have to pay them back, and now they can invest in more real estate. So look, it's a combination of a lot of stuff, but I find it interesting that a lot of these people who coach investors and people who coach people to buy investment properties are now waiting for this crash to happen when they've taught everybody to buy real estate. So same thing when it goes to inflation. I want to hear what people are thinking about, because there's a lot of opinions out there saying, hey, we're way over our head in debt when it comes to the government spending, and inflation's going to keep going up, and that amount of inflation is going to cause the real estate market to crash, or the eviction moratorium, that's going to cause a number of properties to hit the market, and that could cause a crash. I don't see that. I just don't see it. I would love to hear you guys' opinion on it. I'm not seeing that as something that would, especially in the Arizona market, that's what I focus on, but I can't see that causing a major issue based on the numbers that we're seeing here. So there might be another market that maybe is affected differently. Let me hear where you guys are coming from, where you guys are at, what's going on, because I don't see, and I see this flattening out. There's got to be an end in sight of these crazy amounts of equity that's being gained per year, and the 20% gains year over year, and even larger in certain circumstances. That's not sustainable. That has to come to an end. There's going to be a certain point where we get to a point where the majority of people just can't afford to buy in the area. That's going to have an effect based on what I'm seeing right now. I don't know when that time is going to happen. It doesn't seem like for Arizona it's going to happen in the near future. And when it comes to like telling people, hey, what do I expect as far as potentially having the housing market either having a major dip or crash? Like, to me, the only thing that would cause that would be something catastrophic in the financial markets that would cause a complete crash throughout the entire, not only the entire US, but the entire world potentially. So something like that could cause a major crash. Outside of that, like real estate, I don't see a crash just based on real estate. So yes, prices are way higher than they were last year. It's having a negative effect, and it's hurting a lot of us who were hoping to buy over the last year. And I'm one of them. I'm still shooting. I would love to buy another house, and it's still our goal. But I have a certain budget, and I'm also have like a certain thing that I want when I'm looking for a house right now. So it'll be interesting. I typically don't ramble on things like this, but I wanted just to kind of talk to you guys. And again, I want to hear from you. I want to hear what you guys are seeing, because, there's so many people hearing different information, talking about what's going to happen in the future, talking about like what's going on. And I want to know like what sources you're listening to, who you believe, who you don't believe, because there's so many people out there thinking that things are going to change in the near future, and the way I see it right now, I'm just not seeing it. So doesn't mean I'm right, but again, I'd like to hear your opinion on it. And for anybody who's out there looking, I'm going to try to guide you as best I can. And that means when people are looking to buy, I feel still pretty confident that if you bought right now, you're still going to consider or see some increase in value over the next year or two. And if things flatten out and we get an uptick in listings, then maybe there might be a slight dip when it comes to property values. But I don't see, if somebody's going to be buying a house and staying in it for the next 3 to 5 years, and they need a place to live for themselves, and it's for themselves, I think people are still making a positive decision. So let me know what you guys think. Reach out to me anytime. I'd like to hear your opinion. Feel free to call me. I'd love to chat with you over the phone if you have similar opinion, different opinion. Either way, I want to hear from you guys so I can talk about this. I'm not looking to try to capitalize off of people selling you a house that's going to go down in value. That's not my game as a real estate agent. That's not what I'm looking to do. So I want to help people. I want to help people who want to move to Arizona and find the right home for them and feel like it's making the right decision. Hopefully you guys trust in that. Again, if you have any questions, reach out and let us know what's going on, what you're thinking in your comments. Tell us who you're following. We'll go from there. Until next video, you guys have a great day.